How is everybody? It must be Wednesday. It must be 6 o'clock. Here I am. I definitely want to answer your relationship questions tonight because I haven't prepared a whole lot. And in a minute, I'll tell you why I haven't prepared a whole lot. I've been in bed sick for a day and a half. Well, I did go and get a COVID test because you know what? Any kind of sickness. So it came out negative. And they said it could take up to 3 days to get results, but nope, like 10 hours. No, 12 hours they came. So let me put my comments up. First thing I like to see from everybody is a wave and a hello and tell me where you are in the world. I've been doing a lot of segments for 9 Network Australia. So I am seeing a lot of my Aussie friends because it's your morning, right? It's our evening, your morning, exactly. So anyway, please let me brand it. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to put up my little thing. Oh, maybe I put it in banners that tells you where to find me. There you go. Okay, so for Newport Beach, hello. Where else we got? Where are you guys? Where are you watching from? Hello, George. Nice to see you. Hi, Darlene. How are you? Hi, Annie. Who else we got over here? Let me go back to my comments because I can't read the Facebook ones until they feed through StreamYard. Hello from Corona, Rodney. How are you? Hi, Linda from Pasadena. Good to see you again. And hello, Solange from South Lake Tahoe. Good to see you. Hi, William from Scottsdale, Arizona. Hi, Darlene. Oh, Darlene, you're from Toronto. So am I. Well, I'm from a lot of places in Canada, but Toronto is one of them. And hi, Yvonne from Washington, D.C. Hello, Jeff from Idaho. Where in Idaho, Jeff? I had a great dinner twice in Pocatello, Idaho. What was that place called? The Sandpiper or something? I don't know. Stream. There we go. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. My internet, my Wi-Fi was unstable, so I had to plug in with a hard cable. So I'm back. All right. So hello, everybody. If you weren't listening, I've been sick in bed for 2 days, mostly stomach and headache. And I'm thinking, if we're all wearing masks everywhere and we're washing our hands constantly and we're not going near anybody, how could we pick up a bug? So anyway, I got the COVID test. It was negative. I found out this morning, but maybe, yes, the Sandpiper. Yes, it was great, Jeff. I like that place. And what's the name of that waitress? I had her twice too. She was super nice. Anyway, so we just stopped there, Jeff, on our way up to Montana and on our way back because there's a supercharger station right across from the thing. I drive an electric car. So what was I just saying? I got sick and then I'm still feeling yucky. How could you get a bug? All I can imagine is it must be like something I ate, some bad food or something. It's just stomach. So anyway, foodborne illness, says Linda. Yes, we may not be putting people's breath in our bodies, but we are still putting food in our bodies. So obviously I ate something. I was up in the middle of the night with such a bad headache and my stomach was so nauseous. But anyway, I'm fine now. And it motivated me to get a drive-through COVID test. And this is the second time I've had the test. And this time it wasn't the brain tickler that goes all up behind your eyeballs. It was just like only 1 inch in your nose. So that was quite nice. All right, that's gross. You don't want to hear about that. So relationship stuff. Give me your relationship questions. Do you have anything? dating, mating, relating? Anybody found someone new during COVID? Because you see, during these times of crisis, it's a make or break time for relationships. So relationships who might have been new suddenly get merged very fast. Relationships were slightly on the rocks. Hi, Jeff from Phoenix. Relationships that were slightly on the rocks break up. On my radio show on Sunday, I had a divorce mediator. Hi, Carolyn from Tennessee. The fires are still raging. Our air is so bad. I mean, I can't even really show you. It just looks like a heavy fog, but is not foggy. Like you can see the sun trying to come through. And both my daughters have terrible allergies right now. Like they're just sneezing and sneezing and sneezing. So yeah, we'll all get big cases of lung cancer later from all of this. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, we had a divorce mediator on who said that literally in April, like a month after lockdown, she saw this huge rise in divorce claims. And hello, Peanutress from Orange County. Hi, Zach, how are you in Vegas? Do you guys get fires and smoke there too, or just us? It's terrible. And Tammy says, my husband is the best in the world. I will put that up on a screen because that's a nice comment. So even though divorce rates have been going up, it's because there were many relationships that were sort of on the rocks anyway. And you know, what is a relationship? It is an exchange of care, right? And that care can take many forms. It can be financial care. It can be sexual care. It can be domestic responsibility care. The most important is it can be emotional care. It can be instrumental care when someone's sick. It can be intellectual stimulation care. It can be child care. Hi, Sheila from Chicago. And so nobody from the outside can judge somebody's relationship. But during a crisis, we need more of that emotional care. And some of those relationships just couldn't provide it. So anyway, Zach says not too much smoke in Vegas. Good to know. Yeah, we've got really bad air quality too here. Okay, so we had this mediator on who was so interesting because she said she and her partner, all female, of course, used to work for regular divorce lawyer firms and saw how the process was stretched out so much and it cost people so much money and so much time and so much anguish. So they set up this special firm just for mediation, and that it's all about having like a good divorce and happy and calm, and they practice psychology on everybody. And I said, you're so high, Cliff from Ontario. But they said, I actually asked them, look, if you're so nice with these people as they're separating, do they ever decide not to divorce while they're going through this mediation? And she said, yeah. But she's had 3 couples who entered to break up. And once they went through their mediation, they went, you know what? We want to stay together. We actually love each other. So there you go. Aaron says, I don't know. He says he blames the depressed state of everything. Yeah, we're all, but I have to say something now. The beginning of COVID, our mental health was probably worse than for most people than ever. The first, really first few weeks of lockdown, there was first fear and anxiety. Everybody was hoarding and stocking survival kitchens and pantries, right? And then it became like, when is it going to end? And there's this thinking like it'll be another 2 weeks, it'll be another. And then I'll tell you, in my case, once I got my head around the fact that this is not going away soon and this is the new normal and this is the way of life. And I think many people are in that situation. They're just kind of thinking, all right, how can I find a different way to make money? Or how can I find ways to cut down on my living expenses to try to survive? How can I find ways to go to work in a limited way, wearing masks and gloves? How can I find ways to socialize online? I mean, the main thing is, guys, like, this is just me and my personal opinion. I'm pretty conservative when it comes to protection. So I wear a mask whenever I'm out of the house. I also wear a mask if there's any stranger in the house. When the guy from iHeart comes to check on my equipment, I get a mask on and I make him have one on too. When I'm out and about, depending on what I'm touching, I have a whole box of gloves, latex gloves under my car seat, and I will put them on depending if I have to touch anything. So I'm pretty conservative. I also won't get together. I have like, hi, Steve from Beverly Hills. Hi, Cam from Iowa City. I also, sort of really shrunk my friend base. My 2 different book groups that I'm in are online. There's a game night I do with the ladies. It's online. I'm teaching online. I'm not seeing students one-on-one. When I go to, the only place I really go to work is looks like I'm back up on Facebook. I know I'm back. Okay, and I saw a good question. Where did it go? About the listener. She wants to be anonymous. Okay. Please reflect on couples married 45 plus years and communication or lack of it. Why do they avoid topics that are real? Feelings, sex, and stuff like that. Well, I will tell you why. Because in that generation, you really had very little emotional literacy. In other words, parents just, used corporal punishment to try to change kids' behavior. Nobody helped people manage their feelings. And also, it was a time 45 years ago where we were a little more conservative and religious, and there wasn't sex positive talk, there was sex negative talk. So a lot of people feel embarrassed or ashamed to talk about these things. So my suggestion is to find a way to broach them carefully and use metaphors instead of being blatant. I know you're all telling me I'm frozen, but I'm not now. But somebody had a really good question Oh, and then I worked on LinkedIn too. So somebody says I'm back on LinkedIn. Okay. Megan, on Sunday you talked about, here, let me put you up on the screen here. On Sunday, you talked about a listener question regarding a college student living with her boyfriend. Our 19-year-old is moving out to his first college apartment this weekend. We wanted to subject him to random drug testing, not pot or alcohol, since he has recently, he's dabbled. Okay, so is that a question? Do you want to know if it's okay to drug test your kid? First of all, he's 19, and I'm not a lawyer, but as far as I know, he's a legal adult. So if he will submit to it, then that's a good thing. It means he wants help and wants to change. But sadly, for so many parents, if their child suffers from addiction and they're over the age of 18, there's not a lot of parents can do. I mean, I've been reading a lot about Britney Spears' conservatorship and how her family is trying to protect her, and her fans are saying, oh, she's being controlled too much. Look, if she's been under a conservatorship for 12 years, she's suffering, and they're probably doing a lot to protect her. Another question. Oh, all this, there's no feed. Where did it go? Okay, you see me now. Great, you're all back. Wonderful. I'm looking for relationship questions. Anybody have any? I'm screening through them all here. Oh, Corn Metallica, you're funny. Hi, Irvin from Texas. Okay, I don't see any more except you guys telling me that I was frozen. So why don't I fill you up? So the morning show is asking me, found you on LinkedIn, playing on YouTube too. Where else do you broadcast to? Hello, morning show. Morning show with Aaron Michael Sanchez. Let's see. So I broadcast every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time from Los Angeles. And I broadcast on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, 2 Facebook pages, and Instagram. Somebody has a question on Instagram. What's the best way to learn good relationship skills? Zach, that's an excellent question. Okay, so we can't really give anyone empathy and compassion unless we have insight. So the first step to having better relationship skills is to learn to recognize your own feelings and find ways to express them. And find names for feelings. Obviously, the easiest way to do that is in psychotherapy. There's so many great therapists doing telemedicine right now online, which is great. And so once you begin to sort of own your own feelings, recognize them, not be frightened of them, then you'll be able to recognize them better in others. And then when you have those prickly conversations with people in relationships, you can have more empathy. You can do what's called emotional mirroring. You can literally say, they'll say something that sounds angry and defensive, and you can say, I see you're feeling a little angry about XYZ. Tell me more about that, without like reacting and being impulsive and getting defensive, right? Just exploring all the feelings in the room is how to have a healthy relationship, and stepping back a bit. Cliff, that doesn't make any sense at all. Have you had something to drink? I don't know that sentence. What do people do in relationship but not in relationship with somebody else? Oh, hi, Jill. I would love to reconnect with you too. I think I do remember you. I'm gonna have to look. You know, my memory now is dependent on like Gmail and LinkedIn. When someone writes me and they'll say, oh, it's been years since I saw you, I just go right back to Gmail and I look at our last conversation. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember exactly who they are. I know it was a good memory. How about that, Jill? So I kept the feelings. How about that? And somebody's asked me about a healthy relationship, I think, with your kids. Okay, I want to say this about the parent-child relationship. Your job is not to be their police officer or their cop. Your job is not to be their friend. Your job is to be their coach and their teacher, and to help them learn to recognize and manage their own feelings. So again, When a kid takes a tantrum, instead of trying to spend all the time on the behavior, don't do that, don't throw that, don't jump and down, how about, hey, I see you're feeling really upset. It looks like you are really hurt that, the other two are on a play date and you didn't get invited. And so just try to give kids words for feelings. It's the greatest gift we can give our kids. Now, being a parent doesn't mean you have to tell your kid they're perfect and beautiful and the teacher's an idiot and they should get good grades because they're just so special, because kids know the truth. And so being honest with your kids is important too, but also not being hypercritical, not saying, you need to do better, but more like, how did that feel to you when you were in that sport competition, got that grade on the test? Tell me about what that was like for you. How can I support you to do better? What do you need? What else? A 40 plus aged female asked, is it acceptable to date men in their 20s? I assume, Cam, you're not the 40-something aged female judging by that photo, but you must be in the room with somebody or somebody asked you. Accepted by who? Like, who's the judge and jury in all of this? The truth is, we are all individuals. We make individual choices for ourselves, but we don't live alone. We live in a highly overlapping, connected social world. Some people are more susceptible to what society says that they should do. And I should tell you that society is changing at a really fast clip. So I guess the question is how much shame you have and how much you worry about what other people think. I happen to be somebody who has what I call a high shame tolerance. You can't live your life online like this without having some alligator skin and being comfortable with trolls and knowing how to use the block button too. But other people really worry. So in answer, is it okay for a 40 plus age female is it acceptable to date men in their 20s? I mean, the question is why or why not? And what are you looking for? If you're looking for marriage and children, probably not. If you're looking for a short-term fling, yeah. If you're looking to recover after a very painful relationship and divorce, hey, that's some happy candy. Why not? But as long as both parties are consenting and adult and talking about their feelings all along the way, there's no one rule to being a human being, really. Somebody said, I wish I would have wrote this supportive questions down. I don't know which questions. Okay. Hi, Brandon from Illinois. Welcome. Let's see. So Sharms says, I have a great connection with a lady, but she's 5 years older. A whopping 5 years? That's nothing, Sharms. In my culture, it's not allowed, but we feel the connection. Advice, again, if you live in a highly collectivist culture where arranged marriages are common, and your own survival is linked to the parent sets getting involved too, then you might reconsider. On the other hand, if you live in a more Western culture or you're happy to be a little more independent, then go for it. It's about you and what you can tolerate, right? Also, what your relationship goals are. I mean, if you want to have a family and she's past fertility window, you might want to consider that. How about a family that recently got divorced? How does the step-parent broach the conversation with the young stepchild to help them understand why the biological, I can't read it all. Biological parent broke up with the father figure. Okay. So step-parents. Let's stop for a minute. Step-parents are a whole other bailiwick because you have stepped into the shoes of somebody that even if they were a bad mate, they might have been a good parent. And even if they were a bad parent, a child still loves their biological parent. So how to help them make sense of it? Well, first of all, you have to have your partner on board, and the two of you have to have a united front and a decision about how you're going to explain this. It's really, really important that you don't bash a child's parent, your current partner's ex, because remember, the child is half them. I'm a single mom. I have raised my kids for 15 years. And one of the things I find myself saying is, let me just put somebody else up because I've had him up for so long. One of the things I find myself saying to one of my daughters all the time is, oh my gosh, you got the best parts of daddy. You got his artistic intelligence. You got his humor. She did. Like, she literally does things that he used to do that she would have never seen or remembered. And so it's amazing. Oh, this is a good question. Good food times. If I'm Indian and my girlfriend is white, can I ask her to become more involved in my culture? Not forcing, of course. I think both people should get involved in each other's cultures. It should be an either or. It should be this fabulous exploration and enjoyment of each other's culture. I mean, it's only culture. You're still human beings, and that's bigger than anything. I'm sure it is hard when a kid has a lot of mental issues and doesn't. I know. It's hard. You know what? Just stay solid, strong, and calm. And that child eventually will see that you are the consistent figure who's not judging, who's just there if needed, not intrusive, not avoidant, not punishing, disciplining a stepchild doesn't lie. Let the biological parent do that. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm looking at, Jill says sharing culture is awesome. Absolutely. The more the merrier. I actually feel sad when I travel sometimes for business, how homogenized so many places have become, and not just in America. I used to think it was just the problem with America. It's like all chain restaurants. I mean, it makes it convenient when you travel for business because you know where your Starbucks is, you know where your Bank of America is, you know where Olive Garden is, everything's the same. But now I've noticed that these are global corporations, and I'll go like just to another country thinking, oh, I want to experience the culture. And I see like McDonald's and Starbucks and KFC. Okay, so what else? Any more relationship questions? If I were 25, what? I can't see it. Good food times. It's coming up. I don't know why you have to wait on Instagram until they flow up. You can see part of it and then you can't see the rest of the question. Anybody have any other relationship questions? Thank you for the hearts over there on Instagram. That's very sweet of you. And I will remind everybody that I have a live radio show here in Los Angeles on KFIAM640.com. No. Oh, you can listen to it online at KFIAM640.com. Thank you. Someone says if they were 25, they would marry me. Except I'm 58, so I wouldn't marry a 25-year-old, so that would be kind of weird. I could introduce you to my daughter. She's 22. How about that? Okay, so every Sunday from 4 to 6 Pacific time, you can go on the iHeartRadio app and listen live, or you can go to KFIAM640.com and listen live. Or if you're in Los Angeles, you can just turn on an old-fashioned radio. Then if you miss it, it goes up on the iHeartRadio app immediately afterwards. In addition, I have a podcast called Mating Matters that's all about evolutionary psychology. And my Aussie friends can see me on 9 Network Australia, usually every other Wednesday morning. And what else have I got going on? I do videos every day for a new app called Local Now. Here, let me brand that, Local Now. If you have not downloaded the free app, Local Now, I suggest you do. It has free movies and TV shows and free Dr. Wendy, and I do a video every single day for them. And I know there's more. I just can't remember it. And if you're one of my students, thank you for getting up so early. Our classes are at 7:30 in the morning this semester. And sometimes, yes, I do show up to teach in my pajamas. But I mean, really, can you tell the difference between a t-shirt or pajamas? It's all the same, right? There's no difference. So anyway, good to see you all. I'm going to take my daughter out to dinner now because I promised her I would. And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I am here every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Pacific time. You can also send me questions ahead of time. That's fine on any of my social media. Everywhere my social media is at Dr. Wendy Walsh. Bye. See you next time. And